Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a serious player trying to master your game, you already know the truth, right? A textbook perfect physical swing is just not enough to carry the day. Mastering golf absolutely requires building a rock-solid mental blueprint. So today, we're jumping right into exactly how to build that foundation. We're going to unpack the core psychology that literally separates the weekend hackers from the touring pros, zeroing in on how your mindset totally dictates your scorecard.
Seriously, why do great physical swings just completely fall apart under pressure? Man, we've all felt that visceral frustration. You'll spend hours on the driving range, right? Grooving this fluid, effortless swing. But the second the stakes are high, like a club tournament or, just trying to break 80 with your buddies, those mechanics completely unravel. You tense up, you overthink, and the ball goes literally everywhere but the fairway. So why does that happen? Well, it happens because of a cluttered, anxious mind.
And listen, if you're struggling with this, you are definitely not alone. The fact is, golf is not just a physical game. It is a mental battle that often separates the average golfer from the exceptional. The truest test of this sport, it doesn't actually happen on the fairway. It happens entirely between your ears. Your clubs, your physical fitness, they're just tools. Your mind is the actual engine driving the whole shebang.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to rebuild your psychological approach step by step. First, building a mindset foundation. 2, challenging limiting beliefs. 3, cultivating a positive self-image. And finally, adopting the champion's mindset.
All right, step 1, mindset foundation, fixed versus growth.
So we're contrasting two fundamentally different mentalities here. On one side, we have a fixed mindset. This believes abilities are just static. It avoids challenges and says things like, I always choke under pressure. When you hold on to this belief, you're essentially telling your brain, hey, improvement is impossible. Guys, this is the silent killer of all golfing potential. But on the flip side, we have the growth mindset. This mentality believes abilities develop through effort. It sees setbacks as lessons and says, okay, I'm learning how to handle pressure better. Your mindset entirely determines whether a missed putt ruins the rest of your round or if it actually teaches you something valuable for the next hole.
Let's move on and see how this builds in step 2, limiting beliefs, challenge your thoughts.
So what exactly are these narratives? Well, limiting beliefs are these deeply ingrained thoughts, like, oh, I'm terrible with my short game, that act as invisible anchors. They just restrict your true potential. They stealthily sabotage your performance during the absolute most critical moments on the course, operating as these internal truths that, honestly, just aren't rooted in reality. They usually form after a couple of bad experiences, right? And then they metastasize into permanent labels you just slap on yourself, dragging down your confidence way before you even take a practice swing.
But to defeat these invisible anchors, we use the 3C method. Step 1 is awareness, catching the negative thought. Step 2 is challenge, checking its actual validity. And step 3 is replacement, changing it to an empowering thought. It's a really actionable, sequential framework for taking complete control of your mind in real time. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we apply it directly to a highly specific scenario on the course. Say you miss a short putt. For awareness, we use thought journaling, literally catching that thought of, I always mess up, right after the miss. Then, for the challenge stage, we use the courtroom method. You literally act as a lawyer arguing the case for and against the belief that you're a bad putter. You look at the cold, hard evidence. Finally, for replacement, we use visualization. Instead of expecting another failure, you pair a nice slow breath with a new, empowering thought. I trust my stroke. You are consciously rewiring your automatic responses.
Okay, step 3, positive self-image, rebuilding identity.
Now that we've sort of cleared out the negative beliefs, it's time to intentionally rebuild a powerful, confident internal identity. And to do that, you need a specific toolkit. First up, self-image journaling, where you actively record your strengths. Next, using positive identity statements like, I trust my process. You also absolutely must detach your identity from your mistakes, meaning, hey, a bad shot does not make you a bad golfer. But the real secret weapon here? Highlight real visualization. By revisiting your past best moments and vividly replaying them in your head, you preemptively conquer self-doubt before you even step up to the 18th tee. You're reminding your brain exactly what you are fully capable of achieving.
So the crucial point is, step 4, champion's mindset, the ultimate edge.
And this brilliantly illustrates how this edge changes real-time execution during a total disaster scenario, like, say, hitting your ball straight into a water hazard. The problem-oriented response is immediate defeat. Well, this round is ruined, but the solution-oriented response, okay, I'll take my drop, regroup,
and recover. A champion golfer rapidly reframes disastrous in-game scenarios into immediate actionable solutions. They don't waste precious energy on what went wrong. They hyper-focus on the very next right move.
The difference between these two mentalities is just stark. The average golfer is emotionally reactive, constantly obsessing over the score, and gets easily frustrated by their mistakes. Every single bad shot feels like a personal failure. But the champion golfer? They're calm, they're steady, they are deeply process-focused, and they actively accept and adjust to their mistakes without all that judgment. When stepping up to a high-pressure shot, the champion trusts their preparation and literally just lets go of the outcome.
All of these incredible insights and the step-by-step mental blueprint we've discussed today come directly from a truly fantastic resource. If you want the ultimate next step in finalizing your mental training, you have to check out the source material for this explainer. It's the book Unlock Your True Golf Potential by Diane Schaaf. You can order your copy on Amazon today. It's available in hardcover and for download on the Kindle app. Highly recommend picking it up.
Which leaves us with one final, provocative question for you to consider. What story will you tell yourself on the first tee tomorrow? I challenge you to apply this mindset audit before your very next round. Control your inner voice, and you will control your game. Thanks so much for learning with us today.